Hello everybody, today I am going to make gesso with you in case you wanted to prime anything and you don't have any gesso ready for use. It's very easy and you only need 3 ingredients. This is the panel that I'm going to prime today. So basically the gesso is a layer that coats any surface that you are going to use for example, painting or calligraphy or any sort of art. So it could coat it to protect it and also to provide a surface that the art material is going to stick on. Basically what we need for making gesso are 3 ingredients. The first ingredient, the most important ingredient, is the glue. You can use any wood glue. Some people use rabbit skin glue, but this is what I tried and it works perfectly fine. The second ingredient you're gonna need is powder, which is calcium carbonate powder. This is the powder. It looks just like the plaster of Paris. The function of this powder is that it gives the gesso the bright white color that it has. So the third ingredient that I'm gonna use today is white wool paint. This also helps give the gesso brighter look, and it also improves the consistency of the gesso. What you want to start doing is taking the calcium carbonate powder and add some water to it. So I do have the powder here, okay? I prefer using disposable cups so I don't ruin anything through this process because it can get a little bit harder to clean. So I'm going to add some water to it. And with a palette knife, I'm going to start mixing it like this. If you can see, the powder is turning into a thicker consistency, like a doughy consistency. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to make sure that all the powder is now soluble. Now you have this beautiful texture, very well mixed. This is the consistency we're looking for, okay? So the next step is going to be adding the glue. So now that I'm done adding all the mixture to my glue, I'm going to further mix it. We have to mix it really good to make sure all the powder and the glue are now unified and mixed together. You can see the consistency of the paste is getting thicker and thicker because of the glue that we added. Very perfect. Actually, if you want, you can use it just the way it is because we do have the pigment and we also do have the glue that will attach this white pigment to the surface that we are going to prime. But the third step, which is adding some wall paint, white bright wall paint, will make the mixture even more brighter and even more, the texture is going to be more improved for example, sanding and priming the canvas. Of course, the wall paint that we are going to add is water paste, so it's not like any petroleum based or anything. It's water paste. So I'm going to add some. We are going to mix it very well. Now the color is becoming even brighter and beautiful. Just like the color of the canvas that we are used to, buy from the art supply store. The bright, beautiful fluorescent white. And that's it. We made our gesso. It's very easy. It's very convenient. And if you don't want to, for example, buy it from the store or whatever, you can make it home. I am going to store it in some containers. So this is a gesso that I made. It's just perfect and ready for use. Nothing happened to it as long as it's in a container and the container is closed. So I'm going to add the gesso that I just made right now to the one that I already made before in the same container. And with time, you might start noticing that the water in the gesso may be evaporated and the consistency of the gesso has thickened a little bit. But don't worry, you can always add a little bit of water and mix it to make it more liquid and flexible for your liking. So I am going to start priming now. Preferably, you want to sand your surface before adding the gesso, but it's fine. It will stick firmly anyway. So I like protecting the surface with something like this, so the paint doesn't reach it. When it comes to painting the surface, you can use a brush, like this sort of brush, or I prefer using a roller, like a sponge roller, so there is no bristles getting stuck in the surface or anything. So I prefer using this, but you can also use any brush that you have that maybe you know it doesn't shed bristles. But you know, like this one sheds bristles, so I don't want to use it. Simply, we are going to add some of the mixture we made to the surface like so. And then we start rolling. So now that I added my first layer of gesso, it's a little bit sheer, but we are going to wait and then add the second layer when it dries out. So basically, it's very rare that you get a surface ready for your paint from just by applying one layer of gesso. You have to apply at least two or three, at least 3 layers of gesso so that it's very firm and ready to use, and also very white. I could use just a hair dryer to, you know, fasten the process of drying. So now that it has dried, I'm going to sand it. And get started with applying the second coat. So as you can see, it's getting brighter now. So I'm going to wait for it to dry now, to completely dry, and then apply the final layer of gesso. And then it will be ready for paint. And that's it, we are now done. It's perfectly coated and it's white and bright, ready to be painted on. You can use watercolor, you can use oil paint, you can use acrylics. Any sort of medium is going to be suitable for this prime panel. So this is the texture up close. It's a little bit glossy now, but when it's dried, it's going to be completely matte. And that's it. That's how you make gesso at home, and that's how you prime your own canvas. Of course, you can apply more layers. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched until the end, please subscribe and like the video, and maybe share it with your friends so more people can see it. Thank you so much. And if you are interested in texture art, you can also check my other videos where I create texture arts and beautiful patterns like these. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.